Nocturnal Sonata here, bringing you a new GTA 5 online video. These are the top 10 cars for racing in GTA 5 for their individual classes. So if you like to race sports cars, supercars, sedans, compacts, or whatever it is, these are the best cars to pick for those classes of racing. Obviously, if you want to become a good racer, or if you just want to have fun with racing, you need to be able to race in a variety of classes. That means picking the best car for that particular class respectively gives you a bit of an advantage. Makes sense, really. We all like a bit of logic, and it's logical to pick the best car for the best class. That way you win more. So we'll start this video off with motorcycles. Now, what I'm going to show you is the Akuma. The Batty is also very good, but the Akuma's overall acceleration, and for the large part its handling through that acceleration, wins it, even though there are other motorbikes that are very competitive. Going into the superclass, the ProGen T20 is right now the best supercar. This has changed a lot overall, but the T20 is, at the moment, you're going to drop the best lap times with it. It also drives very, very easily. It's very expensive though. For 2.2 million, that's quite a lot of money to drop, but it's well worth it, really, in my opinion. But you know what, there are a lot of other supercars that are even half the price and are good too. The Sterling GT at the moment is the best sports classic by far. Actually, nothing really comes close, to be honest. If you're not the Sterling GT in a sports classic, you're making life difficult for yourself, unnecessarily so, because sports cars generally are quite expensive anyway, so most of the good ones are going to cost roughly $1 million anyway. Next we have SUV class. This is the Huntley S. Again, like sports classic, it dominates completely in the SUV class. If you're not racing this, you're making life very difficult for yourself. So that's pretty much a no-brainer, those two right there. Again, get them. The next class is muscle that I'm going to showcase. This one's a little bit more competitive. There's actually a lot of good cars in the muscle class range. The Dominator is going to be the best. Although for technical tracks the Blade is actually quite a lot better, but for overall, if you can handle the Dominator, for most muscle car tracks you'll do better with it. Again, its handling is rubbish, but if you can actually handle it, it'll win it for you. It's a car that you basically need to handle properly. The next we're going to go for sedan class. This is the Schafter. This is my favorite. It's also probably the best one in the class. There are a couple here or there that can be competitive, but overall that one is going to win it for you quite easily. So pick the Schafter. It's pretty much a no-brainer, really. For sports class, done a lot of videos on the Elegy. It's the best one. The Jester race car edition is also very good and very competitive with it, but overall the Elegy wins. Sports class is overall very competitive, but that's the best one in my opinion, and pretty much lap times dictate that's the best one. Moving on to coupes, I have the Zion, or Xeon. That is the best one. The hardtop and softtop models both work the same. The Lampadati hardtop coupe is also very competitive with this vehicle, so it's really up to you, but in my opinion the Zion is better. Moving on to the compact class, this is the Panto. It's actually not the best one in its class, I would say, but very often compact races are very tight. You're going through alleys, very tiny little corners, weird stuff happening here and there. The sheer size of the Panto makes it so easy to drive through compact areas. It wins in my opinion, just based on that. The next car I want to show you is not actually in this garage, because I don't like to keep it in here. I have a color coordination thing, so I'm going to drive to the next one to show you. I would like to point out there is some subjectivity to driving cars. Obviously some people drive with other cars better, so even though in my opinion and objectively speaking for the most part all the cars I've shown you are the best in their class, if you drive better with one car versus another, then that's the car that you should be. But this is what is the best cars in their classes, and those are them, with the exception of the Panto, which actually isn't, but because, as I just described, the Panto, due to its size, wins it in my opinion. The next car I'm going to show you is an off-road vehicle. In my opinion, the Sanchez 2 motorcycle is actually the best off-road vehicle, but it also has some issues with it. Namely, if you're racing against a lot of other people, you get rammed off the road very easily. This kind of defeats the purpose of the Sanchez, and the Sanchez 2 motorcycle only really works if you're going to wheelie it. Otherwise, again, you're not really getting anything out of it. So this car that I'm showing now is the Bifta. For consistency and overall off-road racing, this is the best. Its handling, I must admit, is a bit squirrely, and it's easy to lose control of it. But if you can maintain it through its corners, and particularly in the grassy areas that you might be driving it, you'll get the best lap times with it. Again, I have to repeat this, the Sanchez 2 will actually give you the best lap times. But the problem is, being a motorcycle, you're going to get knocked off of your bike very quickly and very easily. Just a reminder, all of the cars are subjective in their classes, but there is some objective reality to them that most people will drop the best lap times with those cars in each given race. The only ones I'm in doubt of are the Bifta and the Panto. The rest, there is no doubt at all. Anyway, this is Nocturnal Sonata, and I'm crashing all over the place. I'll see you next time.